That was just absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. I got to tell that they've asked me to do this, and I'm not quite as polished as all these other people. And just so you know, for 30 years I was an attorney, and I never used a microphone.
Right there.
Okay.
Oh, I'll set you up for 6.
You get more now. So my topic today is going to be a little bit different because. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, it's going to be a little bit different today because, as Reverend Kimberly said, I am a white girl, and so I have to go to Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be with my family. So this is a recipe. Like I said, bear with me, I'm not used to a microphone. A recipe for a happy Thanksgiving. And this is modified from the teachings of Abraham Hicks, the eternal recipe for joy. So first of all, let me thank you for your presence and being here. Once again, continued thanks to Janet and Cindy for such a beautiful space and sacred space. And to our Reverend, oh my God, Kimberly, who is just getting more and more fabulous every day. And to my beautiful wife, who helped me with the finishing touches on this. Without her, I could not have done it. So, in Thanksgiving, I want to emphasize the word happy, because usually we focus on the grateful part of Thanksgiving, and that's good too, but happy should be a part of it, because everybody should have a happy Thanksgiving during this holiday season. So I want to share with you a process that I found for myself, and I've used it throughout my life, and it is especially appropriate today because it's based on a recipe. This recipe is a recipe for how to be loving, joyous, and happy during the Thanksgiving season. It's a recipe that's been handed down. It's not a recipe I created. As with most recipes, I've added a little here, I've taken a little away there. The foundation of this recipe is Abraham Hicks. I love Abraham Hicks. I can't tell you how much it's changed my life. And it is certainly food for thought. Food for thought. Because, and this is so important, if you don't take anything else away from David, remember this phrase. It's from Joe Dispenza. Energy flows where focus goes. Say it with me.
Energy flows where focus goes.
And who has control of focus?
Us.
Absolutely. So here, this is about empowering, having a happy Thanksgiving and an empowering Thanksgiving. I'll share this process with you because it's helped me create a vibration within me that's not dependent upon anything outside of me. I'm hopeful this recipe will be helpful to you during this time of Thanksgiving. If you choose to follow it, there are 10 ingredients and very easy instructions. So here's the recipe for being joyous, happy, grateful, and loving during this Thanksgiving season. The first ingredient is seek joy. Most importantly is the first word, seek, because that word is overlooked sometimes, which means to me to be constantly looking for it and expecting it, because as Joe says, energy flows where focus goes. So if you're looking for it and you're seeking it, it will come to you. Now, growing up in the South, I was not taught to seek joy. I was one of those Baptists that she talked about. And we went to church every Sunday, and we heard that we were sinners and going to hell. And there was nothing we could do to stop it, really. And at the end of the service, I just felt sad. It's awful. So I didn't look for the joy because I didn't know. Well, first of all, the singing was joyful. I will say that. So I had to do things to train myself to be joyful and to look for it. So for this holiday season, I'm asking you, are you looking for joy with the people you're interacting with? Are you looking for joy in the meal that you're going to eat? Are you looking for joy in the conversations that you are going to have? And remember, it's an excerpt from Matthew 7:7, because that Baptist training's going to come back in. It says, seek and ye shall find. So what are you seeking? And what are you trying to find? So that's the first ingredient, seek joy, most important one. Second ingredient, seek reasons to laugh. Again, what does Joe say? Energy flows where focus goes. So look for the humor when you're in the kitchen. I know somebody's funny in the family. We've always got somebody who's funny in the family. Tell funny stories. Evoke funny family memories. I'm always surprised how much this sets the tone for the day when we do this. Everybody starts laughing because laughing is contagious. For me personally, my mother, I love to laugh with my mother. She gets the big old belly laugh, and before she can even start telling a story, she starts laughing, and we're all holding our bellies because she's laughing so hard she can't get the story out. And we all know what the story is, but it's still so funny. The third ingredient is seek to offer praise to self and others. Now, as with most recipes, sometimes it takes a little pre-preparation. And what I mean by that is Abraham puts the word self before the word other. So before you attend an event, make a list of things that you appreciate about yourself and just how wonderful and awesome you are. There I go, I'm not good with that microphone. Because I've learned through law of attraction, the more you can appreciate you, the more you appreciate others. Then it becomes easy to do the next praising of others because you're in the momentum of praise already, because you're praising yourself. So it becomes easy. Well, I don't know about you guys, but at this time in our household, everybody's settled in, everybody's comfortable, everybody's arranged the food, we've done all that. But somebody inevitably wants to talk about politics. And that is never a good idea in my household. It's just not. Never has been, never will be. So the next ingredients comes in handy, and just remember, you can use it at any point you want to. And the fourth ingredient is, and I love this one, seek beauty in nature, beasts, and humans. Now I will note, Abraham put humans last. This ingredient is so in alignment with the Lakota proverb, which teaches, if someone goes into nature, their heart becomes soft. I love that. Because mine can get hard sometimes. So that is so important to do. So if you can, if things get crazy, and they have at my family sometimes, it gets a little too much, I go outside. I appreciate nature. I appreciate the beauty around me. Maybe I'll take the dog for a walk, pet the cat. And maybe when you find yourself centered again, and when I find myself centered, I go back inside and I can seek beauty in the humans. But if I can't, it's okay too. I'll just seek beauty wherever I can find it. The next ingredient is personal to everyone, so you have to find what works for you. The fifth ingredient is seek reasons to love. In every moment of every day, look for something that brings forth within you a feeling of love and appreciation. So ask yourself the question, what brings forth within me a feeling of love on Thanksgiving? For me personally, the one thing I always love is that my mama decorates. I appreciate all the time, the energy, and the effort, and the thoughtfulness that she puts into her decorations for her adult children. And I really do love me some of her banana pudding. Thank goodness for the banana pudding. The sixth ingredient is seek that which uplifts you. Now you might think, what's the difference between praise and upliftment? And Abraham says praise is a compliment and upliftment is raising your vibration. So an example, you may compliment someone on their dress and you may uplift them for the way that they are dressed. But praise is if they say something negative about the way they're dressed and you say something positive. For me, seeking that which uplifts me means no negative self-talk. Can't do it, won't do it, try to catch myself when I'm not aware I am doing it. This raises my vibration for Christ consciousness. Then I'm able to do what the next ingredient is, and it becomes so much easier. Seek opportunities to uplift that which uplifts another. For example, if I'm at the dinner table and someone's speaking negatively about themselves, I try to say things that would compliment them. Or at the dinner table, my family has a tendency to talk over each other. And I try to pay attention to the person who gets interrupted the most, and I ask them for their opinion because I want them to know their voice matters. So what are some ways you can think of that you can uplift others during this time? Eighth ingredient, seek a feeling of well-being. This one's really important too, because if you go there knowing all is well, then it just kind of rolls off your back. To me personally, this is the most important, and because it, as I said, it permeates everything. So if you can do nothing else, seek a feeling of well-being. And notice that the operative word is feeling, because that's how you vibrate, how you feel. And that's what you draw to you. So therefore, if you can create a feeling within you, you don't have to have anything outside of you, because you created it within you. So if everything else goes south, you can always say to yourself, this is only temporary. I get to go back home. I know everything is always working out for me, and what I can do right now in this, what can I do right now in this moment to make myself feel better? What can I do? And also too, this gives us an opportunity to practice the number one principle in unity, which is God is absolute, good, and everywhere present. And knowing that, I know all is well. I'm almost finished. Because there's 10 ingredients. I'm to the 9th. No, and this one was wow. I didn't, because remember, I got that Southern Baptist. Know that your value can only be measured in terms of joy. This was a total new concept for me. My value equals my joy. I came to understand that you can't have a joyous life unless you have a joyous journey. And you can't have a joyous journey unless it's made up of joyous moments. Someone told me, Donna, you're not going to wish that you worked more on your deathbed. Because there was a time, truly, in my life when I used to measure my value by how much money I made, how many things I owned, and what trips I took. That's no longer my experience, and I have made joy the definition of my success. And when I did it, whole life changed. And now, from that Christ consciousness, I value joy above all these things, and it has made such a difference. And so last but not least is the final ingredient, which is the 10th one. Know that you have the freedom to do or not do any of these things, for it is without exception your choice in every moment of every day. So we have the entire ingredients. We have a plan of action for this Thanksgiving, this happy Thanksgiving, and we have the freedom to implement any of those ingredients or not. So take what you like, Leave the rest, and remember these are suggestions from Abraham with some modifications by me. So my wish for you is that you have the happiest Thanksgiving ever, and that you know all is well, and so it is.
Yay.
Lastly, if you want to add the spiritual recipe to your cookbook, their copies are going to be provided at the gate as you leave. Thank you very much.